All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're back again with another live stream, bringing you the latest in Chelsea transfer news. Hope you guys are doing well wherever you are and having a very, very good weekend. I definitely am having a very good weekend with friends and family, and literally about an hour ago just came home and I thought, time to do a live stream with you guys. Time to catch up on what's going on. And I see that there's some news about Moises Caicedo mixed in with a whole heap of other news that we will go through, of course. But I thought, no, we have to start ramping up. We have to start ramping up the talks about Moises Caicedo, as you know, the outgoings that we are making, coming to fruition over the last week, and there's probably going to be more outgoings in the coming week. It's only rightful that we start talking about some incomings. Obviously, we had a here we go for Nicholas Jackson, and hoping that there is a here we go for Caicedo sometime next week, by the end of next week, so that Caicedo is ready for pre-season with Chelsea Football Club. Big up to each and every one of you guys. Over 130 of you guys are live already. Smash the like button. Get those likes up to well over 100 immediately. Big up to Valen. Big up to Sukamoto, Serves, Santiago, Harry, Nikhil, Vishnu, Phenomenal Finn, Rashid 10, JV, Abdul Razak. It's been a crazy transfer window already in terms of us and our interaction and our discussions. It's been fantastic, man. And I hope you guys are entertained. I hope you guys are all very much entertained. So, man, let's get this show rock and rolling. Over 200 people live already, which is fantastic to see. Smash the like button as soon as you come through. This is what Ben Jacobs dropped literally less than an hour ago. Mope is saying salam is walaikum assalam, my brother. Good to see you. Ben Jacobs, Chelsea will make a big push for Moises Caicedo, who is keen on the move. Although 100 million plus figures are often quoted, 70 plus 10 million appears possible, and Chelsea's starting point has been lower than this. I mean, I think recently we saw that apparently we put a bid in for 60 million, which was obviously categorically rejected by Brighton. I don't know how all the journalists, like it's been kept quiet between the clubs. None of the journalists got any hint of that particular bid, but I think eventually it came out from David Ornstein saying that we did bid 60 million, which was rejected. Look, 60 million obviously is a paltry fee for one of the top midfielders in the Premier League, and I do believe something around 70 plus 10 million should get the job done. I think that 100 million is a little bit too excessive and a bit too far-fetched. So look, 70 plus 10 hopefully gets the job done. In regards to Moises Caicedo, Fabrizio, does Ben Jacobs say more? Yeah, he does actually. He's always got a thread, doesn't he? Obviously, Brighton want as much as they can get, but they won't deny Caicedo a move for a fair offer. Those close to Caicedo still insist the fee shouldn't be more than Real Madrid paid for Aurelien Tchouameni. I like how, they're trying to make a judgment on the market by seeing what has happened elsewhere, in regards to the midfield situation. Someone like Aurelien Tchouameni for Real Madrid, I believe. How much, ladies and gentlemen, how much was it in the live chat? Let me know. Was it nearly 80 or 60 or 70 million, something like that, for Tchouameni to Real Madrid? Correct me if I'm wrong. Please let me know in the live chat. PYS Santiago Munez is saying, I will definitely get to PYS's tweet if there is something special coming up. But yeah, let me know in the live chat, how much was Aurelien Tchouameni? 75, I think. 80 million euros. 70. Yeah, okay, yeah. So around that 80 million. Yeah. So yeah, I guess they're right. It shouldn't be more than Tchouameni. Tchouameni is regarded as one of the best midfielders out there. So obviously, when that transfer happened, I still believe in Tchouameni being one of the best midfielders out there. Obviously, it hasn't been the greatest season for him in Real Madrid, but that's a different case. But I like how we're trying to base a transfer fee on a movement that has already happened, which is Tchouaméni to Real Madrid. So that's perfect. It shouldn't be more than that. I understand the Premier League, there is Premier League tax, this, that, the other, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't be more than that, more than the Tchouaméni deal. Also, from a Brighton perspective, worth listening to my interview with Paul Barber from January on how the club values a player. So you guys can check that out. This is coming from Ben Jacobs. I just want to quickly showcase all the news and then we can have a conversation about this. No changes. So this is from Fabrizio Romano, literally off the back of Ben Jacobs tweeting. Fabrizio then tweeted out, no changes on Caicedo deal. Chelsea expected to bid after outgoings are still feel in control of the situation. There's no official negotiations ongoing yet. Personal terms almost agreed. So look, I know we shouldn't take into consideration of what players do online, but you would have seen Caicedo putting a like on N'Golo Kante's goodbye message to Chelsea fans. I mean, when you think about it, it's not really necessary for these players to go out there and do these sort of things, but they do it, which then creates a lot more, speculations in the fan base. And when you see a player like Caicedo, who's a Brighton player, right, going around liking a goodbye message of N'Golo Kante saying to Chelsea fans, you start thinking, okay, he's vested, he's invested in Chelsea, matters, right? So that's a positive sign. I think Cucurella recently shared some nice pleasantry with Moises Caicedo on Instagram. Now, obviously, they were ex-teammates, so that could be looked at in a different way. Well, once again, throwing a little bit of spice in the mix. That he's just gelling with the Chelsea players, current players that are gone, and also kind of giving the fan base a bit of a taste as to maybe he is wanting to join Chelsea Football Club. And we've seen news in recent times from Fabrizio Romano and many other journalists saying he has chosen Chelsea. He wants Chelsea. So hopefully we can get this job done. And more so now, I think why it should be Chelsea. I know a couple of days ago we were a bit panicking because Manchester City were after Declan Rice, and we thought that if Arsenal loses out on Declan Rice, then they're definitely coming very, very strong for Moises Caicedo. This is the latest, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to Declan Rice situation. Ex-West Ham employee is a huge source when it comes to West Ham news and any sort of English players, right? This is what ex-West Ham employee had to say, is Patreon. We can confirm that Man City held talks with West Ham over the sale of Declan Rice, but did not lodge an official bid. It was made very clear that Declan Rice really favours a move to Arsenal over the two. The main factor is Arteta. Look, I don't know whether the main factor is Arteta. That's crazy. How could not the main factor be Pep Guardiola? That's mad. What I heard, and this is coming from people like Alex Goldberg and so on and so forth, and many other people that sort of in the know and maybe have some connection with Declan Rice. Declan Rice doesn't want to leave London. He's got a young family, wants to stay in London, and he's quite set up there. And this is why one of the biggest reasons is that he prefers Arsenal Football Club, because he doesn't have to move too much, or if at all. So, I think the whole Man City situation, we probably do need to monitor a little bit, because you never know. A player could, turn the other way. It's Pep Guardiola. Why wouldn't you want to play for Pep Guardiola? You're guaranteed for some trophies and titles. There's no doubts about that if you move to Manchester City. But it looks like Declan Rice is quite adamant to stick around in London, which bodes well for us. Fantastic news for us, ladies and gentlemen, because it allows us to fully have a clear path towards Caicedo, unless something crazy happens from a Man United point of view. Man United are also interested in Caicedo, but Man United at the moment are very focused on Mason Mount. So we've got the puzzle nice and nicely worked out. We've got all of these little puppets. We're trying to move them around like puppets. Hopefully, Declan Rice to Arsenal, so they're not worried about Caicedo. We've got Man United preoccupied with Mason Mount, so we can have a direct shot at Caicedo. So, and good thing is Manchester City are not really interested in Caicedo, and Newcastle apparently was at a certain stage. There were some rumors, but Newcastle ended up getting Sandro Tonali. So, look, it seems like we've eliminated all the other clubs. There is probably only one club in the Premier League, and that's if Caicedo only wants to move in the Premier League. Obviously, outside of the Premier League, there seems to be Bayern Munich who's interested as well, but I don't think Bayern Munich are going to be able to get him. Bayern Munich are probably now even thinking about Calvin Phillips if Man City let go of him. So look, direct shot at Caicedo. I'm confident. Do you know what? If we end up getting Caicedo, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be sensational for us. It really will be. I know I've been peeved off by Brighton, the way they've been treating us in all of these transfer stuff and all the stuff that we've had last season as well, last summer. Brighton, and obviously in recent times, Colwell situation too. But ultimately, I've always said, Caicedo is a top caliber midfielder. His combination with Enzo Fernandez, that'll go a long way, man. Next season, that will go a long way. And Pochettino, that's a big combination, man. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo is a sensational partnership. All right, let's have a look at what you guys are saying. Chelsea HQ tweet and PYS. All right, let's have a look at that before we move on to other news. PYS, what are you saying? Okay. Manchester United are unhappy with Chelsea. United believe Chelsea are overvaluing Mount as he is out of contract next year and wants to leave. United's bargaining position is weakened by a tight budget. They do not want to compromise and admit their intention to sign a striker. Okay. Hey, well, look, we don't care. Man United, we just don't care. We don't care what you have plans elsewhere, what striker, this, that, the other. Pay out for Mount. Pay out for Mount. If you cannot get Mount, then I hope we find a solution for Mason Mount to Saudi Arabia. I'm not even kidding. I am not even kidding. Look, I think 55 plus 5 will get the job done. I'm not worried. I think Man United will get Mason Mount. They're far too deep into this situation at the moment for it to not work out. I'd be very surprised if they completely just walk away from this now. It should. They should. Is this it? Chelsea HQ? No, this doesn't look like it. Chelsea HQ. Yeah, that's the one. What does this account have to say? Chelsea have sent a loud and clear message to Romelu Lukaku telling him he must secure a permanent transfer for around 40 million this summer. AC Milan and Al Hilal have both presented offers. Okay. AC Milan, you know what? Gazzetta. Yeah, I'm not sure about Gazzetta, man. These guys, these guys are like the Sun in UK. So I'm not really confident about Gazzetta saying all of that stuff. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Moises Caicedo hopefully will be a Chelsea player. I'm hoping so. Arsenal have confirmed to West Ham their plan to submit one more bid for Declan Rice after 75 million plus 15 million rejected. Understand Manchester City are also preparing their official bid. Plan has not changed. Structure of the deal, payment terms, key for West Ham. Fair enough. Let's see what you guys are saying now. Big up. We are not only looking to bring in Caicedo, but Poch also wants a midfielder who can not only just play in midfield, but also on the wings. Kudus from Ajax is someone we are looking to bring in. Yeah, I saw that news from Felix Johnston, and I thought I would cover it, but then obviously, like Felix is someone who's in the know. I get that. It's just obviously he's not a reporter. Do you know what I mean? So. How much do I take these information and actually talk about it? Maybe we should. Maybe look, it does make sense that with Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, all of these players gone, we are going to add one more. We definitely will add someone in midfield. So this is from Felix 16 hours ago. I understand two of the names from Chelsea's number 10 position are Gabri Veiga and Mohamed Kudus. Talk Kudus has interest from Dortmund. Veiga and Kudus seen as young and versatile profiles, with Kudus able to play right wing and Veiga specifically liked by Poch. Look, I've not watched too much of Veiga, but in recent times I've tried to pick up some more clips. I've been watching a lot more of Veiga. Veiga to me, and I think some of you guys said, is very Mason Mount-esque. The biggest difference I saw between Veiga and Mason Mount from the bits and pieces that I've already seen of Veiga, right, is Veiga's a far better dribbler. Veiga can dribble. But in terms of the overall play, Veiga is someone who can win the ball from midfield. He's quite tenacious in that manner. Much like Mason Mount, I think Veiga will be very good in terms of pressing. Veiga tries to crash into the box and score goals. He's got good passing range. I haven't seen enough of him to say how much of his passing range is good. Probably just as much like Mason Mount. And Mason Mount needs massive improvement in passing as well. But yeah, Veiga really did remind me of Mason Mount. He really did. But it's the dribbling that is the difference between Veiga and Mason Mount. Kudus is someone I've been watching all through last season in Champions League. I watched him in the World Cup. Kudus is different though. Veiga, he can play as an 8 and then sort of progress towards a number 10 position. Whereas Kudus, I don't think he's an 8. I think he's someone who plays just behind a striker. I think he can potentially even play as a striker. He can definitely play out wide. Kudus is very, very technically gifted. Close control of the ball is fantastic. Very attacking player, likes to take players on, can score goals with his left. He's got a very good left-footed shot. But someone did, it was Phenomenal Finn. It was my brother Phenomenal Finn who's pointed out Kudus is injury prone. He's massively injury prone. So, yeah, man. Apparently, he's missed out on a lot of football over the last 2 to 3 seasons, which I wasn't aware of because I've not done a full research on Kudus himself. So, yeah, Phenomenal Finn has told me that Kudus has missed a lot of games over the past few seasons. So that's concerning. If you're going to come to the Premier League where it is a lot more physical, this doesn't sit well. This does not sit well one bit. Ms. Thoughts on Szoboszlai? Apparently, Vivel pushing for him. Szoboszlai is a good player as well. I don't mind Szoboszlai. Technically gifted, can score goals, assist. I don't think physicality should be a problem in the Premier League. Now, I've watched Szoboszlai a few times for Leipzig. He seems like a very, very good player. Very, very good player. So yeah, look, I'm open to that. I'm definitely open to Szoboszlai as well. Don, just a question. Why is no one talking about another winger for Chelsea after the clear out? We will only be left with Mudryk, Madueke, Sterling. Mudryk and Madueke still not finished products. Do we really need another winger? When you think about potentially we're going to play with 4-2-3, and this is why I guess Kudus's name has been popping up. Maybe he can be versatile to play wing football. I definitely think he's versatile enough to play wing football. And Gabri Veiga's name has been popping up as well. And Kuku, someone who can potentially play anywhere along the front three. Obviously, his preference is just behind the striker. And don't forget, we got Nicholas Jackson as well. Nicholas Jackson is someone I feel like not only can play up front as a striker, but can, all of these players, they're very versatile, Don. They're very, very versatile. So I think this is probably one of the other reason why we're not going for an out-and-out winger. Do you know what I mean? So there is a lot of options. And you have to also understand, Don, we only have one game a week next season, man. We don't have too many games to go about. Yeah, there is domestic football, of course, but there's no European football, period. So, yeah, we may do that business if we hopefully make to Europe the following season. But I do expect players like Kalamantan-Odoi, Christian Pulisic, all of these players to be gone. 100%. I expect them to be gone. Kudus can play as a number 10 and right wing. Yes, absolutely agreed with that. And Kukin can play as a winger as well. I agree with that. Not his preference, but he can definitely play as a winger. If we go for Onana, uh, United will be mad and pull out of the Mason deal. yeah, there's a lot of different strings, and we'll touch up on that. Let's move on to that news. Before that, obviously, César Azpilicueta, ladies and gentlemen. Azpilicueta just waiting for Chelsea to give the green light to mutual termination of his contract. It's the final step to let him leave the club immediately. Up to the club. Inter have agreed personal terms with Azpilicueta on 2-year deal, waiting to sign soon. So look, it looks like this is going to happen. We are going to mutually terminate his contract, which will allow Azpilicueta to leave on a free to Inter Milan. Once again, Inter Milan, they wriggle out of paying any sort of fee for Azpilicueta, who still had 1 year left in his contract. So we could have made about 2-3 million, who knows, maybe at least 2 million. But Inter Milan has somehow found a way to wriggle out of this. And we don't want to upset César Azpilicueta. He's a leader, legend, captain of the football club, and honestly, an absolute ultimate professional. He's an ultimate professional. He's won it all. He's won everything at Chelsea Football Club. And we don't want to make him upset before he left Chelsea Football Club. So look, that's fine. Let's mutually agree to terminate his contract. Allow him to go out on a free. But amazing how Inter Milan gets away with this again. After us being interested in some of their players, they seem to always get better of our players, but we can never get better of their players. Never, ever. And Romelu Lukaku being one of the biggest examples. So look, I wish Azpilicueta all the best for his future endeavors. Rumors of, and this is now in regards to Andre Onana, which I think is going to be quite important to talk about. Yeah, Ridom, you're right, man. Proper Chelsea. That Azpilicueta is proper Chelsea. That is a proper Chelsea. Rumors of agent change for Andre Onana are wide of mark. His agent was and remains Albert Butenes, who's taking care of negotiations. Butenes met with Manchester United earlier this week. Chelsea have asked about Onana 2 weeks ago. Inter won at least 50 million euros plus add-ons. Do you know what? I haven't had the chance to properly talk to you guys. Nearly 700 of you guys are live right now. I just realized. Guys, let's pump these likes, man. Let's pump the likes. Let's get it up to 500 straight away. It's so easy. We always come here. We always have a conversation. We're always having a discussion. We always enjoy each other's company. Let's smash the like button and let's get the likes up to well over 500. And if you're here for the first time, let's subscribe. Let's get to 24,000 subscribers together. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't had a proper conversation in regards to how we feel about potentially Kepa being the number one goalkeeper next season. Look, I don't want this to be a Kepa slander session or, let's try and put Kepa down. Nothing like that. I think Kepa had a decent last season, of course. Of course he did. But overall, there's still flaws. Those flaws still remain. He doesn't command his box. Long shots are a massive problem for Kepa. Crosses are a big problem for Kepa. And, his ball distribution, I think it's a little bit overrated. I don't think his ball distribution is all that great all the time. Sometimes it really puts us into trouble. I really thought next season we will not be giving the burden to Pochettino to have a keeper that's not completely competent. And I thought we'll go for someone like, my first choice was Mike Maignan, but it's categorically a no from AC Milan. And then I was really sold on the Onana project, especially after watching the Champions League final and how unbelievable he was in that final. Almost played as a regista in the second half. He was like a midfielder. And I know there's a lot of people out there showcasing his, failed compilations. And I said it. I know Onana can be erratic. I've seen Onana in Ajax, how sometimes he has those bozo moments. But you have to also understand, Ajax during that time, they were playing some chaotic football. Do you know what I mean? They weren't always structurally great in defense. When you have an Inter Milan style of defense, you can see, Onana does not have those bozo moments as often as he did in Ajax. And obviously, Onana had issues as well at Ajax. So you have to remember, players' mindset at that time. Andre Onana, for me, is a damn good goalkeeper. Damn good goalkeeper. And I don't understand why we're not taking the opportunity to go out there and really try and negotiate with Inter Milan to get this deal done if we can. I mean, if someone like Man United is successful, if, for instance, David De Gea does move on and Man United get a goalkeeper like Onana, that's advantage Man United, man. Man United will be looking good with a goalkeeper like Onana. So look, there's not that many top quality goalkeepers going around. Well, not the ones that we know right now. I don't know. The Valencia goalkeeper, Mamardashvili, or whatever his name is, he could be potentially very, very good. But we don't know too much about him. Andre Onana, 50 million plus add-ons euros. They want some of our players. Like, can we do a deal? Like, I thought we should be able to do a deal. It's amazing how we're not being capable of doing a deal with Inter Milan. As much as I don't want to do any more deals with them, but this is a goalkeeper that I would love to have at Chelsea Football Club. Honestly, I feel a bit with Kepa being number one. I don't feel entirely confident. Once again, this is with utmost respect towards Kepa. I think overall he's all right. He's okay goalkeeper, man. But there are flaws, man. There are flaws. And I don't want it to have all of these excuses next season. Next season, no space, no room for excuses, man. It's simple as. Big up, Miz. Waited for your video to drop like forever. This is getting addictive, No problems, man. Really, really appreciate that. Fakar Hussein, Miz, Inter has bought Marcus Thuram. Do you think they won't go for Lukaku now? We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. We'll talk about that. Phenomenal Finn. Ms. Felix said Chelsea have painted it like that, but BTS, they are still determined to get a keeper. Maybe it's a tactic, Yeah, perhaps it is a tactic. Milo, good to see you, Miss. If your expectation is 6th or thereabouts, then you should be okay missing one key signing. But if Poch gets all he gets, then straight he should be secure top 4. He's been heavily back. Now, I hear what you're saying. I do understand. What you're saying is if you miss out, if my expectation is to be 6th, then we should be able to do with what we have and who's coming in. And if we miss out on one, no problems. But the goalkeeper thing could be messy, Milo, man. Like, I don't want to get into a situation where the goalkeeper situation, makes us lose points. With a top goalkeeper, I still have expectations of 6th only. Anything above that is overachievement, and that's great. We should thrive to overachieve. But I'm not going to say if we get all our targets that Poch just has a winning team now. No, it all has to come through, chemistry, players getting to know each other, building that relationship, and there's a lot of different other factors. We've seen in January when we brought a lot of, whole heap of players in, it's not as easy as just flick off a finger and it all kind of works out. Like, just because if we do end up getting all our signings that we're automatic, we should start expecting 4th. I don't think that's the way to think about it, man. There's a lot of work that this team needs to do off the back of being 12th last season. So even with all our signings, I still expect, my expectation is 6th, because if I don't want to over expect and then get hurt. All right, next up, understand Chelsea and Al Hilal have approved all contracts for the transfers of Kalidou Koulibaly to Saudi side. Koulibaly will complete medicals, sign the contract, and then be unveiled this weekend as the new Al Hilal player. Done deal. Here we go. Confirm Al Hilal. He's going to be Al Hilal player, Saudi Pro League. Oh, man. I will be there. Inshallah, I will be there. Main part of medical tests for Nicholas Jackson will take place today. Chelsea are finally checking contracts with Villarreal for 37 million deal. Deal completed on Friday and now set to be signed, as Jackson will be unveiled as new signing soon on very long term. Brilliant. Poch Pochettino's first signing, Poch era's first signing, Nicholas Jackson, we shall all remember. And I wish him all the best. I truly do wish him all the best, that he works out for us. Massively, I hope he works out for us. So let's pray for the best. He's got his medical coming up, and hopefully that will be done and dusted sometime today. And hopefully we get an announcement very, very soon for this, an official announcement from Chelsea Football Club for this particular player. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Inter have reached full verbal agreement to sign Marcus Thuram. Here we go. Deal in place for salary around 6 to 6.5 million net per season plus signing fee. Inter working to get contracts now prepared and then signed during the weekend. PSG, Leipzig, Milan rejected. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Does this mean Romelu Lukaku's chances to Inter Milan might have just disappeared? I mean, they did have Dzeko, Lautaro Martinez, and Lukaku. So maybe Thuram is a direct replacement for Edin Dzeko, and there could still be some space left for Romelu Lukaku. Unless Inter have different plans, unless Inter will just stick with Thuram and Lautaro Martinez, and maybe they'll use someone else, or they'll get someone cheaper, even more cheaper than the 7 million loan offer that they've done for us for Romelu Lukaku again. Look, I like Chelsea's stance. As you guys saw, Chelsea HQ's tweet earlier on from La Gazzetta. But if you want to take La Gazzetta somewhat seriously, they're saying that Chelsea want Romelu Lukaku to find a permanent move, and I'm absolutely on board with that. We should force Romelu Lukaku to find a permanent move. None of these loan moves to Inter Milan, because you're literally making a mockery out of us. We paid all of that money. You're making a mockery out of us with these 7 million paltry loan fees, last season and now this season as well. Who pays your wages? That's another discussion. You're on high wages. No, none of that. You find yourself a permanent solution so we don't get into this mess again next season. And if you can't find yourself a permanent solution, well, Saudi Pro League is there. Saudi Arabia were there to give us an offer. They're ready to give us a pretty lucrative offer for Romelu Lukaku, and for Romelu Lukaku to also earn very good money. I think he's been offered double his income, but he's categorically saying no to it because he wants to stick around in Europe. He still thinks he has something to give in Europe. Now, I don't know what Romelu Lukaku is smoking, man. But yeah, look, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Does Thuram's inclusion in Inter Milan, does that mean that could be the end of Romelu Lukaku's chance at Inter Milan? I think maybe there could still be a shot, but you never know. Inter could start planning otherwise. There are many micromanagement in managing and setting up. Also for Poch, for example, Ten Hag changed the dressing room side right after taking over United. Yeah, fair enough, man. Pepita, Inter keep asking for Lukaku on loan. That's why we are stuck in this Onana situation. Yeah, no, true, man, true. I just thought that with Onana and Lukaku, and they've been interested with Chalobah as well, maybe we can find a solution for Onana to us. Ridom, no, he wants Kante level earnings. Yeah, he wants those exorbitant amount of earnings, doesn't he? No, you ain't getting that. As much as Saudi Pro League are throwing money, that's only for the top of the top range. You know what I mean? You have to be a Benzema. You have to be a N'Golo Kante. If you're Romelu Lukaku and the kind of first touch that you have, I'm not getting that level of money. Just give us Barella and take Lukaku. Barella, yeah, man, that's another player that's up for grabs. And I wouldn't mind Barella one bit at Chelsea Football Club. There's one important question. Whom do you think will Chelsea fans boo harder next season when they play against us? Mount, the money maniac, or Havertz, the snake? I think equally they'll be booed just as much. I think equally. Yeah, some of these fans, they still have a soft spot for Mason Mount. So maybe Havertz is the one who's going to cop it the most. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Before you go, we've got 229 likes. We've got nearly 700 people live. Smash the like button. Get those likes up to well over 500. Very easy. I'm pretty certain you guys have enjoyed this show because you guys have all stuck around for the entirety of the show. So get those likes up. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Pedro Neves, good to see you, my man. Can't be getting 100 million a year when you're missing headers from 3 yards out. Exactly right. Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care and see ya. Bye.